His software company develops money-saving mailing technology for companies producing more than half of all American business mail. That's in excess of 77 billion pieces of mail each year. Award-winning speaker, angel investor, founder, and CEO of Window Book, Mr. Jeff Peoples.
What an honor it is to be here at Coke speaking to you, successful business owners, on how to navigate disruptive change. Now, we've just seen a great tour, and we see that Coke has gone through many errors with disruptive change. And just recently, there are so many disruptive changes coming to our industry. The companies that mail and ship billions and millions of pieces per year, all over America. Uber initially disrupted the taxi industry. They made it so that the taxi cabs were afraid. Now, Google's Waymo is making driverless cars so that they're disrupting the disruptor. And fear can be something that can make it so that people go to their next level. They can get something that they could never get before simply by embracing their fear. I remember when I was a child, second grade, at Trinity Lutheran School in Staten Island, New York. I would occasionally make a spelling mistake. I don't know about you, what you felt. Now, we had one teacher, our homeroom teacher, actually had a whip. Believe it or not, in the 60s, that was a real thing. But I actually wasn't afraid. My pastor was actually my uncle, and he was the head of the school. And I would come home, but one thing I really was afraid of was writing thank you notes to my grandfather, because he would correct any spelling mistake and send them back. And those red pencil marks on a letter that I got back, a thank you note, was terrifying to me. Now, later in life, I went through school, got to college, and before the IBM PC came out, I figured out ways to analyze my spelling with computer systems. And then that education drove me to create software companies like Window Book that now literally analyze billions of postage statements every month and save clients billions and billions of dollars per year. There's still a lot of change, and there's a lot of fear. One thing that's coming out that's very fearful for many people is, what's blockchain going to do? People are shifting their trust from in big governments and financial institutions to computer software. That's what blockchain really is. Now, back in 2008 and 2009, the United States Postal Service was telling all mailers you'd have to use Intelligent Mail Full Service to get automation discounts. And in our industry, that basically means to survive. So I invested heavily. I made it so that I hired the right people. I invested in developing technology because I knew that our clients, my beloved clients, would have to have all of this in order to survive. Then December, right before the new year, 2010, when the regulations were about to go into effect, changed my mind. Indefinitely delayed. Many of my clients that had bought that software said, Jeff, we love you, but it's not a requirement. We're not going to install it. And I want a refund. I had to sell my house in order to keep my clients and the business running. I've got about 60 employees. And we'd hired these people. I did have to let go of people. But let me tell you, when I was walking out that house for the last time and I saw the height of Willie and Emily, my children, notched in the door each year, because that was like a home, you know? To this day, it shudders. And that was bad. But it wasn't as bad as introducing my son to the closet off of the break room where that became his senior years in high school. That's where he slept. And there were many teary nights when my wife, she slept in the accounting room. And she went from having a beautiful wardrobe to a cubicle shelf bolted onto the wall, which is where she kept her clothes. And I learned a very important lesson. People can change their minds, but you can install and you can develop technology that does exactly what it's programmed to do. I then was introduced to a whole new level of blockchain-based technology. My friend Peter Diamandis introduced me, who is the founder of XPRIZE, Abundance 360, looking at all the future technologies and how these things are going to disrupt our lives. Well, he introduced me to Eric Poulier, who's done over a dozen companies with $1 billion in exits. And we're investing heavily in that technology to make it so that direct marketing is something that goes from an interruption and unwanted to something that is welcomed and wanted. So we are also investing in a whole series of technologies and delivering a whole series of technologies that make it so that people don't have to do what they really weren't put on this earth to do. So let me just leave you with 3 things that will make a big difference when you're looking at how does this disruptive technology become something that I can grow and prosper with. 1, don't let your people do what computers can do better. 2, elevate and train your people to do their unique abilities, to work with other people, to do the things that computers can't do. And 3, partner and connect with companies that have the experience and perseverance to deliver and partner with you so that you can grow and prosper with disruptive technologies.